I hope this asshole misses his kick.
Me too.
Who they got? Eddie Pinheiro now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Hey, was he the double doink kicker?
Yes, sir.
Oh, a master. Let's see his craft at work here.
He knows what he's doing. That's for sure.
I hope he pins this one straight into the upright. Right down the middle.
Again, he's not a bear anymore, so he's good at football.
Mm.
You got to remember that, Noah. All right, you ready?
You can find a double doink in him.
You ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
3, 2. Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the Brofict one, AJ. Joining me, as always, man with the number, sportsbook whisperer, college basketball guru, daddy of the diamond, all hail, the king of the links, the money train, Noah. How you doing today, Bob?
I'm good, man. Hey, we had a hell of a time last night, and shout out Quinn92. That was a fun show, and now we got football on. So what's there to complain about?
My same game parlay just got cooked because the Rams lost the first half. So there's something to complain about for you. But besides that, not a lot else, Noah. It's great slate of football we got this weekend. Great slate of football, not only on the college side, but the NFL side. I'm ready to get into it. Are you ready to get down to it?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Before we do that, though, Noah, I got to take a moment to shout out everyone watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube, and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help us out a lot more than you know. And Noah, we're going to go ahead and get straight away with one of the larger slates. One of the larger spreads I think we're going to see today, and that is Wisconsin and Michigan. Michigan 17.5-point favorites, 43.5 is the total in this one, Noah. And give me 2 seconds because I had it pulled up. Interesting split here on the money. 69% of the bets, 5% of the money coming in on Michigan. So 31% of the bets, 90. Yeah, 5%. 5% of the money coming in on Michigan, 95% of the money coming in on Wisconsin, 31% of those bets. Let me double check where the money line is at, Noah. So then, that's then you get the little flip flop here. It's 99% of the bets and 100% of the money on Michigan money line here. So one of those, the public definitely thinks the spread is just a little too much. And I don't know. You got all that money coming in on Wisconsin, and the books only moved it up a full point and hasn't taken it and it moved up a point, not down a point. And so you're getting a little bit of reverse line movement there, in my opinion. But I mean, besides that, Noah, what do you want me to say? I don't think Wisconsin's good. I don't think they're good at all. They looked like shit against Maryland. They looked like shit against Alabama. And congratulations, you beat Miami of Ohio and I think it was, Middle Tennessee Southern University or something like that. I don't know. But I mean...
Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee, thank you. But Michigan looks solid to me. I like what's his name at quarterback right now. He's been, when they let him kind of open it up and run around a little bit, I think he's able to get into more of a flow, and so I like that out of him. Give me Michigan minus a 17.5. I understand it's a huge spread, but I'm willing to go ahead and lay those points with Big Blue.
Yeah, and I'm going to say what I've been saying, even what I said after the Oklahoma loss for Michigan, is I said this is a good Michigan team. Like that Oklahoma loss, I think Oklahoma, I've got them ranked number 5 right now. So I'm not going to penalize Michigan too much for losing that game. They didn't look their best against Nebraska. They got it done. But playing at Nebraska is always a tough task. That's a tough place to play. And this Wisconsin team just looks like ass. Like Luke Fickell is out. I don't know if he's going to make it to the end of the season, if he's going to get fired in the offseason. I can guarantee you he's not going to be Wisconsin's head coach next year.
I highly doubt it, yeah.
Will Luke Fickell even make it through this year? I'm not even certain about that. I think Wisconsin made the wrong hire with that one, and it's already sour. His seat's already hot, and Wisconsin has gotten worse every year he's been there. They got blown out at Maryland, and I do think Maryland's a good team. I have them right outside of my top 25. With a win against Washington this week, I'll have Maryland in my top 25. That's for damn sure. I think the AP will as well. Um, yeah, if you're going to lose by 17 at Maryland, you're going to lose by more than that at Michigan, I think. And I just don't expect Wisconsin to show up at all in this one. Give me Michigan. Give me the over. I think Michigan potentially covers the over by themselves. I think we might have a scenario where Wisconsin doesn't even need to score a point to hit the over, because I do think Michigan is fully capable of hanging 44 plus on this Wisconsin team.
I'm with you there. McCormick in the chat, by the way. How you doing, bub? Hope you're having a hell of a Thursday. Keeping it moving, Noah. Next game on the slate, Kansas State, Baylor. Baylor, 6.5-point favorites at home. 61.5 is the total. 46% of the bets, 35% of the money coming in on.
Ooh, tough one. I'm going to say Kansas State. I'm going to say more of the money's on Baylor.
Nope. 46% of the bets, 35% of the money on Baylor, 54% of the bets, 65% of the money coming in on K-State. And Noah, guess what the book did with this line?
Did they reverse move this one?
Not even no, they left it. They are like, go ahead and waste your money betting on Kansas State to cover 6.5 points. Go ahead and do that. We will just leave the line right here. That's how confident we are in our position of this game. And I didn't need the book to confirm what I thought, but I got Baylor in this one -6.5. I know I have said some Baylor slander in the past couple of weeks, but besides that, I don't think they're the worst football team out there. I think they're solid enough. And yeah, give me Baylor minus that 6.5.
Yeah, these are two teams that I am not very confident in right now. Both had fairly high expectations as far as the Big 12 goes, conference-wise, coming into the season. But, you look at Kansas State, they've played 2 good games and 3 really bad games. They're sitting at 2-3. And their 2 good games, one of those was a loss against Iowa State to open the season. They played a good game. They played a tight game in that one, come away with a 3-point loss in that. But outside of that, their other good game being last week, they kicked the shit out of UCF. I don't know if just last week is enough for me to hang my hat on them to be competitive and cover in this game. Yeah. I will say I did leave this game off my parlay for the week because when I'm putting together my I don't want to go to work on Monday parlay, I got 9 teams in that parlay. I'm not throwing Baylor money line in there because it scares me enough that I'm keeping it out of a parlay. I will be probably betting on Baylor -6.5. I have them -6.5. Again, if Kansas State plays the way they did last week, they're going to have a chance to win this game. Baylor hasn't lived up to the expectations they had preseason. They haven't looked like a ranked team. Are they still good? Yes, they played ASU really tight. The Auburn loss to kick off the season didn't look great. They have a couple decent wins, though. I think Baylor covers 6.5 in this one, but I think there's enough of a chance that if we do see K-State that we saw last week, this could be a good old-fashioned shootout, and the over-under tells that story. I'm staying off of that, but man, I do have enough of a shred of doubt for Baylor in my mind. If they had looked better this season than they did, or than they have, I'd be like, oh, this is a no-brainer. But that's probably why the line is under a touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. And the book left it there. Let's not forget it. The book left it there. Noah, let's keep it moving. Texas, Florida. Texas, 4.5-point favorites on the road here. 42.5 is the total. Bill Napier does still have his job as of this recording. Noah, I do think we need to continue to report on how long he continues to have this job. But I mean, listen, both teams coming off of a bye week. Rough loss for Florida against Miami. Rough loss against LSU. Rough loss against USF. But damn, did they look good against LIU? What?
It's crazy because you look at the 3 losses for Florida, and when the season's all said and done, those 3 teams could all be in the playoff.
Exactly.
And Billy Napier might keep his job just from the standpoint of the fact that, I can't remember any team, any season in recent memory that's had a schedule that looks like Florida's. I mean, it is fucking nasty. And so
yeah,
I think, Florida, when Florida goes 4-8 and Billy Napier squeaks out 2 wins against ranked teams, that's enough to keep his job. Even though the overall record's 4-8, if he gets 2 wins over ranked SEC opponents, he'll be back next year.
Well, yeah, and I mean, hey, if they can get a ranked win here, definitely going to quiet some voices a little bit. Arch Manning coming off of his slump bust, 55-0 win against Sam Houston before the bye week. Maybe the bye week helped him out. Maybe he was able to sit back, watch some film, what he did good, what he did bad, and it's interesting.
Or hear me out, playing 0-4 Sam Houston State helped him out.
No. That was his coming out game. But the public might be on your side here. Line opened up at 6.5 to 5.5 and 4.5 at some books. 59% of the bet, 69% of the money. Very nice. Coming in on the home dogs here at 5.5, but 96% of the bets, 91% of the money coming in on Texas money line. So another one of these where the line seems too high, even though it's not that high. Damn it, Noah. I know what I'm doing. I don't like what I'm doing. I want you to be
like a stinker. This one feels like a stinker.
It feels like a shit show, doesn't it? Just a little bit. What's that total sitting at again? Total sitting at 42.5. Yeah. I mean, I think the book knows this is going to be probably a defensive battle and not a lot of offense in this one. Give me the under. I'll go ahead and take one of my few totals of the season. I'll take an under here at 42.5. And damn it, Noah, I'm taking Texas minus that 4.5. I mean, I know what the tape says. I know what the games say. I know what the stats say. But I don't know, man. I think the bye week is going to help more than it's going to hurt. And I think Texas has a higher ceiling than Florida, obviously, this season. But we'll see. I like the under a lot more than I like anything in this game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Age. I'm on Texas to cover 4.5. This spread is small enough that I'm okay taking Texas to cover it. If we started getting up in 8.5, 9.5 range, I'd probably still be on Texas, but shitting my pants the entire time. It would realistically, anything over 6.5 is going to be probably a non-bet for me, because I don't trust Florida to really cover anything less than about 13 or 14, but I also don't trust Texas to cover anything more than about 4 or 5. So it's in this weird area of this game could go a lot of ways. I'm on under 42.5 because we look at what Florida's done. I don't think Florida's offense is going to be able to put up very many points.
No.
But I feel like we might see the same thing from Texas's offense. This could be
a field goal fest. This could absolutely turn into a field goal fest.
This could be a 13-6 Texas victory where we have 1 touchdown from Texas, 0 touchdowns from Florida. The reality of that happening, or even 13-10 could happen. Even the 4.5, I'm not super confident on. I think this is going to be a shit game. I don't think it's going to be fun to watch. And we're going to learn a lot about Texas in this one.
Yeah.
I know we already saw them play Ohio State week 1. They look capable in a big game, playing on the road at the Shoe. 14-7's not a bad loss there.
No, not at all.
But they haven't really been putting teams away until they played Sam Houston State. But again, that's 0-4 Conference USA Sam Houston State. I'm not putting any weight behind that. I think we can use the Florida LSU game as kind of a measuring point for this one when this one's said and done. Obviously LSU caught some flack for only winning 20-10 in that game. But I got a feeling this could be a little narrower. I mean, I haven't fully made my mind up on Texas. If they don't win this game by 17 plus, I don't feel good about Texas, because Florida's got a lot of offensive problems. There's a lot of talent on that roster. The defense is capable. We've seen that, but the offense has some issues. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens with this.
Yeah, it's going to be a shitter, though. It's going to be a shitter. But, Noah, luckily, after that game kicks off, if you really don't want to watch it or you want to put something else just a little bit more entertaining on, I think we got that lined up for you next. Vanderbilt, Alabama, 10.5-point favorites at Bryant-Denny Stadium, Nick Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium, whatever they want to call it. 10.5 point favorites here. 55.5 is the total. Noah, where do you think the money's at on this one? Spread and money line.
I want to say, this. I want to say on the spread, the money's on Vandy, but money line, it's gonna be all over Bama.
Interesting. So, as you mentioned, Noah, on Tuesday, you got this line at 22.5 when it opened, and that is where it opened. It has been bet all the way. What?
This line opened about 3 weeks ago, AJ. So that's an important note because
it is, but still, it opened up at 22.5. And now we're down to 11 after 60% of the bets, 93% of the money coming in on Vanderbilt, plus the points. So being bet through all the way throughout from 22.5 all the way down to 11 throughout those 3 weeks. And then 96% of the bets, 45% of the money coming in on Alabama money line. So that is telling me that a lot of the Alabama money line bets are parlay bets. They're not, straight up like I'm going to put 1,000 on Alabama to win outright. You know what I mean?
A lot of people could have their parlays ruined there.
And that's why you have 44% of the bets and 55% of the money on Vanderbilt money line.
That's wild in a 10.5 point spread game to have that kind of split on
plus
the money
330.
line.
Hey, why can't history repeat itself twice?
No, and this has got to be the most bet game of the week. I have to.
I gotta imagine.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun, man. Diego Pavia is a dog. Vandy obviously beating Bama last year. This is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be fun. I think we're gonna see a shit ton of points in this. So I love over 55.5. I am shocked that this over under wasn't in the 60s.
I think the public's keeping it down. 71% of the bets, 51% of the money on the under here.
That's wild to me. Yeah, I know I tweeted it out, my pinned tweet. Go check it out if you want. 3 weeks ago, I saw this line and I said, oh, shit. It was at 24. This line was at 24 or 24.5. Money line was at plus 1,000 for Vandy. I didn't take the money line, but I did put a considerable amount of units on Vandy plus a 24 because I was like, hell yeah, that's a no-brainer. I'm on Vandy plus 10.5. I like them to cover 10.5. I think this is going to be a good old-fashioned shootout, like I said. I think they're going to come up just short. So I may still sprinkle a little on the money line, but I got like 45-41 Bama is my final score prediction here. I just think Vandy's defense with Bama's offense being better than it was last year, I think Vandy just comes up just a hair short because I also think Diego Pavia is going to have a hell of a fucking game and is just going to have no problem cutting through Bama's D.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from. I'm on Vandy plus the 11 as well. I think this is a game that's been circled on the calendar for both squads, obviously, especially for Kalen DeBoer, who, let's be real, has had a less than stellar start to his Alabama career here. It's crazy, the world that we live in since Nick Saban's retired. But I think this is where we really start to like Bama fans starting to, really turn up the heat and turn it off. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think it's a close one, but I think Bama comes up short at home at Nick Saban Field of Bryant-Denny Stadium. Give me Vandy money line. I'm going to sprinkle that one as well. I want to be clear. That's not my Alabama hate rhetoric that I usually push. Like, this is what Kalen DeBoer has done over the last 2 seasons so far. And Diego Pavia, I again, like you've talked about, he truly believes in his heart that Vanderbilt is winning a national championship this year. Yeah. And he is going to make sure to do anything possible. And Alabama's just standing in the way. He didn't come back for his 6th year just to fuck around. No.
He didn't launch a lawsuit to get an extra year of eligibility.
No, he didn't.
To not do something special this year. And I saw Vandy's up to like 26% chance at making the playoff right now. They got like 5 more ranked teams on their schedule. This is going to be an interesting one. This is going to be this is going to be a close game. If either team does blow the other one out, though, I will say I feel more confident in Vandy blowing out Bama than Bama blowing out Vandy. Yet I still think Bama wins this by just a small margin.
We'll see.
Yeah, Diego Pavia, man, it's not just words. It is not just words. He truly believes in deep down in his heart. He truly believes that Vandy's winning the Natty this year, and he's not going to let anybody tell him that that's not happening.
No, and it sure as hell ain't going to be Kalen DeBoer standing in his way. Let me tell you that. But it'll be a good one. No, I'm really excited for that one. Got another banger kicking off at the same time. Boise State, Notre Dame, 20.5 point favorite, 63.5 is the total here, Noah. And this is interesting. 70% of the bets, 9% of the money coming in on Notre Dame minus 21, but the typical 98% of the bets and 97% of the money on the money line there.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you're going to get that with a spread this big. That's why I was surprised with the 10.5, 11 point spread with the Vandy Bama game that the money line bets were still slightly on Vandy because, as with the Michigan-Wisconsin game where you got 99% of bets and money on the 17.5 point favorite at home, that makes sense. That's going to happen because, there's enough responsible gamblers out there that are not just blindly throwing, money line bets on 20-point dogs.
I'm with you. This is where Notre Dame turns its season around. This is the start of it. And, Boise State 3-1, they've been a solid football team. I think you and I can both agree they're missing Ashton Jeanty in the backfield and some other pieces that have transferred out. But Boise State's good. I think the first half's going to be closer than we expect. And then Notre Dame comes out in the second half and puts them away. Give me Notre Dame minus that 20.5. Staying away from the total because I am leaning towards the under here. I think that is a very inflated total for what Notre Dame has put out there recently. And I want to go under, but this game also screams over to me. So Noah.
Yeah, I'm on the over on this one because Notre Dame has a lot of problems on defense. Their defense did look a lot better against Arkansas last week, but it's between them and Kentucky for the worst team in the SEC. So, I'll accept either answer for who's the worst team in the SEC, but it's either Arkansas or Kentucky. They put belt to ass to Arkansas. They looked really good in that game. I have kept Notre Dame in my rankings. I've had them a bit higher than the AP. So I do think highly of Notre Dame because they can – we saw with Miami and Texas A&M, they can play a high-scoring shootout and stay competitive, stay in those games against really, really good teams. I like Boise State to cover 3 touchdowns because I do think their offense, even without Jeanty, is still very capable. We've seen them put up a lot of points in a lot of games this year. Their defense, it's not cutting it for me, but I don't really like either defense here, and I think both offenses are pretty high-powered. So I am going to say Boise State scores enough points to stay within 3 touchdowns. I like Notre Dame to probably win this game by about 10 to 14 points, but I could totally see, this one ending up being like a 48-34 type of game that Notre Dame wins. And so I'm on Boise State. I'm on the over, even though it is a kind of high over-under. I'm not scared of that 63 points. I think these two teams will clear that just fine. Road Dog, how you doing?
Yeah. What's up, Road Dog? Boise State will win if they try and run the ball first. Well, so far it's been a pretty a pretty good pattern I think we've seen out of football this season that, hey, something's working really well for us. Let's fucking stop doing that. Let's just stop and try to do something else entirely. Like, I don't know. No, NFL, college, it just feels like you're sitting there like, well, run the ball. You ran the ball all over the place in the first half. Like, go ahead and throw a second or third stringer in there if you're worried about your first. But come on. Anyway, just small shit that's been frustrating me this football season. Anyway, keeping it moving. Noah, Michigan State, Nebraska minus 11.5 in this one. 49.5 is the total. Noah, where is the public on this one?
I would say public's big on Nebraska.
Meh. 28% of the bets, 51% of the money coming in on Nebraska minus the 11.5. So a lot of bigger bettors big on Nebraska. 72% of the bets, 49% of the money, plus the 12.5 or 11.5 with Michigan State.
I feel like I'm going to go over guessing where the money's at.
you might. But heavy money on Nebraska money line here. Like we talked about earlier, Noah, Nebraska is a hard place to play. Lincoln, Nebraska is not a fun place to play. I like what Matt Rhule.
They got nothing else to fucking do there.
Isn't it almost time to get the corn?
No.
Do they do corn in Nebraska?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's why they're the Cornhuskers. I mean,
that's why
they wear foam corn on their head.
Was the joke there? Thank you.
Oh well, that went over my head. That's okay. Yeah, tough ass place to play. As we saw last week, I think a Michigan team that was the much better team in that game only got out of there with a 3-point win. Like it's be interesting to take the time to compare the playing in the road environments with some of these Big Ten stadiums versus SEC ones. I know all the SEC people, they love a hypothetical, so they'll take their hypothetical victory on that. But, if you go down the list and just rank them and then compare, say, the top, 12, because I know there's some stinkers in there, Northwestern, or you could even say Vandy's a little bit of a stinker there, and a couple other ones in the SEC. But be interesting to go rank the top 10 or 12 and then, really have a discussion about who's got the tougher places to play. Nebraska, definitely one of those. I think this is going to be a fun game, though. I think this is going to be a fun game. I'm on Michigan State to cover 11.5. I guess I'm higher on Michigan State than most people are, than the public is this season. I think they're a pretty decent program. I think they're not too far out from a top 25 team, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see them be in this game in the fourth quarter and have a chance to win it. I don't feel confident taking a Michigan State money line play on this, but 11.5, I'm cool with them covering that. I'm going under 50.5 on this one. I think this game's going to stay lower scoring. It's going to stay tight, and this should be a really fun one. I'm actually looking forward to watching this.
Yeah, gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a great game. I'm all over Nebraska. I don't remember if I said that already.
You did not. I cut you off, as I usually do.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. Nebraska minus the 11.5. Tough place to play. And I'm not sold on Michigan State. I haven't been sold all season. I don't think I'm going to get sold this early.
Well, maybe I'm a fool and I'm seeing something that's not there with Michigan State, but I'm cool with them. I think they're a decent team.
You cool with them? Would you spot them at 20 if they needed it? Was that how cool you are with them?
20 points? I'd spot them 20 points.
No, $20. If Michigan State walked up and said, "Yo, no, I need $20,"
I mean, I'm not going to contribute to Michigan State's alumni or their NIL fund or anything like that, but
not what I meant. But anyway, gonna go back in time a little bit because I missed this game on our slate. Noah, Washington, Maryland. 6.5 point dogs at home. 53.5 is the total here. And we do have 65% of the bets, 98% of the money coming in on Maryland. But 89% of the bets, 78% of the money coming in on Washington money line, Noah.
So people are liking Washington to go on the road, bounce back from that Ohio State loss and win.
Yeah.
But they don't like that 6.5.
Yeah. And, I am interested because I do believe, got to look at these numbers in certain ways because, if people bet a game, they're not going to bet, both the spread and a money line typically. You know what I mean? Unless it's a dog and they're sprinkling the money line or something like that. And so I am kind of curious because then, I don't know. I got to do more numbers. I got to crunch more numbers.
Yeah. I do that fairly often, though. I'll take especially a spread that's less than a touchdown, even all the way up to maybe 8.5 points. I'll drop a few units on an underdog if I like them to cover, and then I'll drop maybe half a unit on the money line just in case it hits. But
I don't know. My point being, I think you got to look into these numbers a little bit more, but that's just me on a different. It's just homework for me later. Anyway, I always love. I've been on the fence all week on this one, Noah. Even before you sent me the slate, this was one where I'm like, I don't know which way to go, but I do like the story of Washington bouncing back after a pretty rough loss against Ohio State. I think they're better than what they put out there.
Half.
Yeah, great first half. They just couldn't get it together the second. Maryland hasn't played anybody. And I mean, yes, they've played very well against absolutely nobody at home against their first real test. Good environment to be in, but I don't know, man. It makes me very uncomfortable whenever I see heavy money and heavy public on a home dog. I'm taking Washington to go on the road here and cover this 6.5. I think it's going to be a close one all the way down, and I think it's going to be a last-second touchdown or something like that. Wouldn't be surprised if I get screwed by a hook and a field goal, but I'm going to roll with that 6.5. I like Maryland, like them a lot. I think Washington's playing with more of a chip on their shoulder right now, as Mac Jones is clutching his calf right now.
Oh boy, who's
that would be Christian McCaffrey is listed as quarterback 2 on the depth chart going into tonight.
Okay,
and Kyle Shanahan cannot believe it. That was the face of a man who's like, really?
All right, well, good thing I bet McCaffrey over 1.5 completions. I'm just kidding. I didn't do that.
Hell of a line, Noah. Sorry, we got distracted there. That was big, though.
I don't even think the books probably had that offered, if I'm being honest. Anyways.
Ooh.
See, I don't even know.
That might be an Achilles.
I got Sam Houston State and New Mexico State in the background. I switched over at halftime and haven't switched back. So
that might have been an Achilles.
Oh man, is that gonna kill my Mac Jones over pass attempts bet though?
Let's take a look at that. Before you take a look at that, Noah, who do you got in this one?
I'm on Maryland, and guess what? This is my dog of the week. Maryland money line. I'm gonna say Maryland. Welcome to the top 25.
Wow.
Get it done. You'll be in my good graces. You're in the top 25. I've loved what I've seen out of this Maryland team. Washington did play a really good game at home a really good first half at home against Ohio State. The wheels kind of fell off in the second half, and Ohio State just clamped up on defense and then started scoring points on offense. So, again, it was a nice half, Washington. Congratulations. But there's been points this season where Washington hasn't played as well as I would have liked to see them play. And I haven't seen that from Maryland. Yeah, they've had a pretty weak schedule, but they have dominated it the way that they need to. And I think Maryland being at home, if this game was at Washington, I'd feel different about it. Being at home with the length of travel that Washington's got to go, I like Maryland to win this game. I do think it'll be a close-ish one. I don't think they're running away with it by any means. And then and give me over 52.5. I'm fine with the over on this one. I like Maryland. They're my dog of the week on the money line.
Sorry, I'm doing math in my head. I fucked up. Give me 2 seconds. So sorry. Anyway, yeah. I don't blame you there. I don't blame you, Noah, but I'm on Washington. I like Washington. Let's go to the next one, Noah. After Michigan State, Nebraska, we've got Texas Tech going up against Houston, and Texas Tech does have a funny number next to their name, and oddly enough, Noah, that's where the spread's at. Texas Tech 11.5 point favorites, 52.5 is the total. Noah, this split might make you cry. In tears of joy, though, because I think the public is finally starting to listen to you, Noah. And so shout out to you. 55% of the bets, 95% of the money is on
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech
I only got
minus
that one
that
right
11.
You led me into it correctly. Although that's probably
I wanted to give you one. Noah, and I thought that was a good build up to it. But anyway, got to build that confidence.
Shame on me if I got that one wrong, I guess.
Honestly, I think I would have just never helped you again. But anyway, Yeah, dude. Do you want to go ahead and take the Texas Tech talk? Because you're really good at talking about how good they are. And I mean, I just end up saying ditto because, yeah, dude, they're really fucking good right this season.
Well, I'll give my normal spiel that I always do. They spent a fuck ton of money in the off season,
That's an Achilles.
and in today's day and age, it doesn't work 100% of the time, but it certainly works more than 50% of the time. You go out and spend a shit ton of fucking money to build your roster, and yes, you do need coaching, and you do need the players to actually execute, and that also is kind of tied to coaching. But Texas Tech it looks like a really well-oiled machine through 4 weeks, and the fact that they were barely in the rankings to start the season was crazy. I've got them all the way up at number 6 right now on my personal rankings, and once they beat a couple more teams that are worth a damn, and this one is a tough game that does count. Did I expect Houston to be looking as good as they do? No, not necessarily, but Houston they look pretty damn good so far this season. They're also right outside of my top 25. Like I'll usually, depending on the week, I'll just say, I don't go through it on our show, but I'll list out my kind of like 26 through, sometimes it goes through 30, 32, 34, depends on the week, who's on my radar to like potentially break in there. Houston's one of those teams, and obviously with the win over Texas Tech, they will certainly be in the top 25 at 5-0. But this Houston team, they're no scrubs, but Texas Tech, man, this is a legitimate contender for a national title this year. And funny how I said before the season started, I said it's going to be Texas Tech and Iowa State in the Big 12 championship game. What's it looking like right now? Looking like Texas Tech and Iowa State to me, but I think Texas Tech gets it done. I'm taking them to cover 11.5. I'd even go up a couple more points on this. I might alternate spread this up to like 13.5, maybe even 16.5 if I'm feeling really dicey. And that's no shade at Houston. I think Houston's a really good team, and I do think they're going to finish in the top third of the Big 12 this year. But Texas Tech's this is like the season for Texas Tech to like do something special. And I'm taking them to cover. And I like it. I don't love it, but I'm taking them. I don't hate it. I like it. I'm not quite in love with the line. If it was at like 8.5, 9.5, I'd be in love with it, but
you'd buy it a drink, but there might not be a second date.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
I get it. I'm there. All right, let's go to, I believe, College Game Day is going to be here, right?
Well, where are you?
Oh, I'm all over Texas Tech minus 11.5. They 100% of the time, it works 50% of the time. And so
guns up, Red Raiders, throw them fucking tortillas. Don't let anybody tell you can't.
Yeah, throw the tortillas, damn it. Okay? We're not allowed to have fun anymore. Let's have some fun, damn it.
Right. Don't let the fucking Big 12 or the NCAA tell you you're not allowed to throw tortillas.
God, when was the last time they had fun? When was the last time they had fun, you think? And they think, oh, these damn kids and their tortillas, we can't have that.
Plus, you go out and spend $25 million in NIL in the offseason. Why do you care about a $50,000 fine for your
throw the fucking tortillas
for your 7 home games, right? Like that do the math quick. $350,000 in fines for letting your fans throw tortillas, I think, is worth it if you can afford to spend $25 million in it.
I'm pretty sure one of their donors sneezes that in a morning, so I'm not worried about them paying this fine.
Oil money.
Yeah, they got that oil money
out in Lubbock. Yeah, it doesn't matter. One of their fucking boosters will just literally write a check for that.
I think that was the most shocking part for me about the fine was not that they started a fine for it, but how low it was.
Yeah,
because when you talk like irrelevant to the college.
Well, and then you got revenue sharing too. So like, then you look at it from a standpoint of like, well, you're getting a small percentage of that back.
Yeah.
So, because what do we have now? Do we have 14 teams in the Big 12?
Yeah.
So like, you get
12 ways.
You get 1/14 you get like 6-7% of that back of that $50,000 fine you got to pay anyways. I don't know how that works. Maybe you don't get to split the revenue sharing for fines. I don't know.
Right. If your team was fine, you're excluded from that fine rev share. That college
Either way,
football makes so much sense, dude. It makes so much sense.
7 home games
Anyway,
for the entire season. You can afford to pay a $50,000 fine 7 times to have the joy of throwing tortillas on the field.
Yeah, that's a couple of barrels a day you put aside, and then at the end of the season you cash them in. Anyway, college game day. I believe Theo Vaughn is going to be the guest picker, so that's always fun. Florida State, Miami. Miami 4.5-point favorites on the road here. 54.5 is the total.
Game day's in Alabama.
Is it? I don't know. I thought it was going to be here.
That's why.
Is it really in Alabama?
Yeah, Theo Vaughn's a Vanderbilt fan. That's why he's probably the guest picker.
Is that they really think that's the biggest game this week?
It is the biggest game this week.
I would argue Miami, Florida State is.
I would beg to differ. I think it's definitely Vandy Bama because I think that game's just got more.
Got more juice behind it, more interest behind it. Sure, but like when we talk playoffs.
Not to discount this one, but wasn't game day already at in Tallahassee for Florida State and Bama?
No, I know they were in Miami. I don't know.
Because they won't go to the same place twice in a season.
Where has college game day been this season? Nope. Let me go.
At Tennessee, Miami, Penn State, and okay. So they haven't been.
Yeah, they haven't been to Florida State yet. So
okay. Well,
he was in Nashville and has been on the sidelines for a few weeks.
Either way, I mean, tough decision. But
anyway.
And Theo Vaughn, he did win a bet where when Vandy beat, I think, South Carolina or somebody, he had the opportunity, I guess, to go on a date with Diego Pavia's mom. I don't know what happened with that. I
don't think anything did, but shout out to them. I hope they're happy together. Miami, Florida State, got 66% of the bets, 50% of the money on.
Oh man, I'm stumped with this one. I'm gonna go with Miami.
On Florida State there. So 34% of the bets, 50% of the money coming in on Miami with that 4.5 line. Opened up at 5.5, has moved down to 4.5 with those bets coming in on Florida State. 85% of the bets, 64% of the money on Miami to win this game outright. So getting big money coming in on Florida State. And Noah, I got to be honest, bruh. I understand why that money's coming in on Florida State money line. I understand why the big bettors are looking at this game and they're like, really? You're going to hang that? Okay, yeah, we'll take that money line. We'll put an extra couple dollars on it. Miami's look good. I don't want to take anything away from Miami. I will say Carson Beck has shocked me with how he's handled this season and how he's handled himself as a quarterback. And I feel like he really fits this system here.
Well, he doesn't have to do jack shit.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like he really fits the system here. I like what he's done. He hasn't had to do much, Noah. And when he doesn't he's like Bo Nix. You know, you don't ask Bo Nix to do a lot, and he looks amazing. You ask him to open it up downfield, and Bo Nix returns. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, it works for him. He's a system quarterback where he doesn't have to do a lot. With that being said, I mean, really, we're going to hate on Florida State for a double overtime loss, and they're playing at home. Yeah, this Florida State team is going to be pissed off and ready to go. I like how they've been playing this season. Give me Florida State money line. This would have been my shirt of the week if I had time to make a shirt. But Florida State money line. I like it so much, I'd put it on a shirt, brother.
All right. Well, that's on me for not sending you the slate.
Dude, it's okay. There was some other stuff came up. I'm not too upset about it.
Yeah, I'm not, man. I don't know. You mentioned the double overtime loss, and yeah, I am penalizing Florida State big time for that double overtime loss because you gave Virginia and I hate that I'm doing this and not giving Virginia credit for winning that game, but Florida State, you gave Virginia a funny little number next to their name that they don't deserve. Yes, I'm going to say it. And that was a bad game from Florida State. That was a bad game. And here's the difference. I haven't seen any weakness out of Miami all season through 4 games. Maybe it happens here. If it does happen, Florida State does have the ability to win this game. I'm much like I was talking about with the Baylor Kansas State game, like how Kansas State could win that game if they're bringing their A game. But when it comes down to it, and I'm looking at these two teams, and I'm looking at the likelihood of who's going to bring their best game, I'm very confident Miami is going to bring their best game, minus the possibility of Mario Cristobal doing some dumb shit with clock management like he loves to. If Miami loses, that's probably what happens. But I think there's a very, very slim chance Miami doesn't bring some of their best game. And Florida State, I worry about a little bit. I do worry about a little bit, and I'm taking Miami minus 4.5 in this one. I'm not even skirting around it. I think Miami's going to win this one just fine. And then Florida State, with 2 conference losses in the ACC,
they're done.
might be in a little bit of trouble. I'm not saying they can't get to the ACC championship game with 2 conference losses, but it's going to make it really tough in the ACC to get to that championship game with 2 losses in conference play, a lot of games ahead of them. So we'll see what happens. I do think Florida State could win this game if they do bring their A game. Their A game can match up hand in hand with Miami's, but I like Miami to cover the spread.
Noah, as always, I respect your decisions. That's as far as I'm willing to go with that one. Anyway, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, next one on our slate. Texas A&M, 16.5-point favorites at home. 55.5 is the total. 60% of the bets, 54% of the money on who, Noah?
Texas A&M.
Mississippi State, plus the 15.5.
I'm so bad at this game, man.
Hey, we got a long season ahead of us. I think you'll get better maybe towards the end. But 99% of the bets, 100% of the money coming in on Texas A&M money line. Noah, I mean, listen, I've picked Mississippi State once this year. They did their job for me against ASU. Shout out to them. Can you please, because I looked at this game and I didn't give it much brain power. I said Texas A&M minus the 16.5. Easy money. I started thinking about it a little bit more. 4-1 Mississippi State. That doesn't happen by accident, but I'm firm on Texas A&M minus that 16.5. Noah, is there any reason I shouldn't be?
Fuck. I don't know. I think the spread's too high.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah. I'm like, here's the thing. I have zero concern about Texas A&M winning this game. What concerns me is an almost 17-point spread against a Mississippi State team that has far exceeded expectations this year. That's looked pretty damn good. Almost beat Tennessee last week. I don't like Tennessee at all this year. I really, really, really wanted them to lose that game so I could drop them out of my top 25. I did drop them a few spots, but I don't know. And maybe I'm just a Tennessee hater. I am a Tennessee hater, but yeah, I think Mississippi State's got a legit football team, and I think they're going to be in this one to the point where they don't lose by 17 points. So I am on Mississippi State to cover. I don't think A&M loses this game. I've got them as my number 7 team right now, and I'm just, this pick for me is putting respect on Mississippi State and what they've done this year. I mean, that home win against ASU, just blowing them out. ASU's not a bad team, and we've seen that. And I thought maybe, okay, ASU's a bad team, but then they win back-to-back close games against Baylor and TCU, who are 2 teams that are in the top probably 6 teams in the Big 12. That was a really good win, and that's because Mississippi State is a good team. And so I think they're going to keep themselves in this game. I don't think they're going to let Texas A&M run away with it.
All right. Fair enough, Noah. Next game on the slate, we've got Colorado, TCU. TCU 13.5-point favorites at home. 58.5 is the total. 83% of the bets, 77% of the money on
TCU.
There you go, Noah. TCU
I
minus
got one.
13.5. But the book has not moved the line from where it's at, opening at 13.5, sticking at 13.5. Noah, again, give me one good reason I'm not taking TCU minus the points.
I mean, in Colorado's 3 losses, they've all been 3 very close games.
True.
So, like, all right, that's my nice thing to say about Colorado is, yeah, you've lost 3 games. You've lost 3 games against 3 good teams. I mean, you look at, Georgia Tech, BYU, and then Houston. You got 2 teams that are ranked and 1 team that's not far out from being ranked. And you've played 3 really close games against those teams. So it's not like Colorado's putting a bad product on the field. They're just not getting it done. They're not getting it done. Is TCU going to be the first team that beats Colorado by more than 1 score? I'm going to say yes. I'm on TCU minus 13.5.
There we go.
I think that ASU game last week, I think TCU is going to come in here with a fire lit under their asses. And Sonny Dykes, I think, is going to be ahead and potentially run up the score in this game. And it's just unfortunate timing for Colorado that they're going against TCU, coming off of a real heartbreaking loss against ASU where they got up real big early and then watched that lead just slowly trickle away as they, ASU got a little help from the refs, and then TCU just forgot how to score points. And so they have a hell of an offense. And I think 58.5, I'm probably staying off of the over-under on this one, but I think TCU is going to, again, have a fire lit under their ass. And unfortunate timing, because if this game was played 2 weeks earlier, I would say, yeah, Colorado can cover 2 touchdowns. But right now, I'm not feeling it.
I get it. No, last game on our slate, we've got Duke and the Calgorithm. Duke, 2.5-point favorites on the road here. 55.5 is the total. 80% of the bets, 5% of the money on.
Oh, God. You said, wait, repeat those numbers one more time.
80% of the bets, 5% of the money.
Oh, that's diabolical. Cal.
Yes, 80% of the bets, 5% of the money on Cal. So 20% of the bets, 95% of the money coming in on Duke. Anywhere from 3 to 2.5 at some books. And the public all over Duke to win this game, minus 135. What am I missing here, bud? Well, tell me what I'm missing.
I think with the money, it's the same logic that I had with this game a little bit. Being in the late slate, I threw this game into my parlay, my I don't want to go to work on Monday parlay, from the standpoint of everything else is going to be wrapped up by the time this one kicks off, so I can hedge the fuck out of this game if I need to.
True.
And I would imagine a lot of people were in the same boat, and then they're like, okay, Cal, home dog, get a little plus money on the end of that. And then if you got a parlay ride and then that's the last leg, then you just slam the fuck out of Duke and feel fine about it. I did the opposite. I took Duke because Duke's going to win this game. Duke's going to win this game. Cal is 4-1. Impressive win at home against Minnesota. But also some really fucking bewildering losses, or one loss, I guess, where they lose like 30-something to 0 against San Diego State. I'm like, I don't know what it is with Cal, because they've looked really good outside of that San Diego State game where you lose 30-something to 0. How? I'm not really sure. Duke's been impressive to me. Yes, they have some losses. They lost to a really good Illinois team, and then who's their other loss? I should know this.
I can't remember.
Oh, they lost to Tulane. That's right. When Jake Retzlaff just decided he wanted to run the ball for 4 touchdowns and like 1,000,000 yards. and Tulane's a really good team. They're going to have a chance at getting that spot in the playoff. I mean, I really think it's between at this point looks like it's between them, USF, and Memphis. Don't count out Boise State if they get a win against Notre Dame. They're right back in that conversation, if not at the top of it. Maybe number 2, just because they did lose head to head to USF. But Duke's a really good team. Duke, I think, is a really good team. I think they're going to be up there in the ACC. I don't think they're going to be in the ACC championship game, but they're going to be up there. And yeah, I'm going to take Duke. I'm going to take them on the 2.5. It's less than a field goal spread. I got no problem with it. I think Duke's going to go into Cal despite the time zone change and the travel time. And I think they walk out of there with a win. I think it could go both ways. I don't know. I'm so confused about Cal right now. I just don't know what to make of them. Like, are you good? Because sometimes I watch them and I'm like, oh, this looks like a top 25 team. And sometimes I watch them and I'm like, who the fuck is this ass football team that I'm watching?
I get it. I'm leaning more on the whole time zone thing on this one. They're going to be playing this game late for them. I'm going Cal on the money line here. I don't know how you're going to put. You give me the Calgorithm, brother. I want the Calgorithm to go wild, dude. I just want it, and so I'll take Cal money line on this one. But
Calgary been real quiet lately.
It has been. I want it to kick back up again.
My feed's had no Calgorithm all season, and so I'm like, get me on that app formerly known as Twitter. I love all the fucking memes from all the Cal people. They're hilarious. So exactly. Maybe those will pick up again. But
Road Dog, thank you so much.
I don't know. I feel like part of the reason on Duke though is because I'm so high on Illinois, even after everybody wanted to shit on them after losing 63-10 to Indiana, which maybe rightfully so. But I think they just, sometimes you just don't show up.
True. Sometimes you don't. But that is our entire college football slate. No, you got anything else?
No. Quick break before we get into the NFL slate.
Yes, sir. Before we do that, do you just want to take another moment? Shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit that like button, hit that follow button. It does help us out a lot more than you know. I'm the Brofect one, AJ. That's the Money Train, Noah, and we'll be right back. Right. All right. Here we go. 3, 2. And we are back. What's up, D-Gens? Perfect One AJ here with the Money Train. Noah, as always, as we are ready to do what we have been doing for years and years now, Noah, and that is picking every single NFL game, ATS or money line, or any other picks that we want to add in as well. You ready to get into this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, well, I guess I should make sure I'm ready to get into this first. I should have the lines pulled up. That usually does help, I figure, when we're talking gambling, Noah. But, I mean, let's start Thursday Night Football. I mean, 49ers, Rams, Noah, currently in action in the fourth quarter. 49ers up 20-14 right now. I was on the Rams, minus the points with all the injury news and everything like that. They've been looking good so far. We'll analyze all of this and break it down on Tuesday. But, Noah, who did you have going into this one?
I started the week. I was on the Rams when the spread was down to about 2.5, 3.5. Shifted to the Niners when it moved up to 8.5, and I was all over the under. I will be honest, I was expecting a low-scoring stinker game, as the Niners love to crank out this year. There's already been probably more points than I expected in this, with the whole quarter left to go. So I would have probably alt-lined this under way down, but yeah, so it's going a little differently than I expected, but I did think the Niners were going to cover. I did not expect them to be in position to potentially win this game, I'll tell you that. But
no, me either, Noah, but
I think there's enough time to lose it still, so.
That there is. Well, let's go ahead and get started on Sunday, Noah, as we are once again going across the pond for this one. Vikings and the Brownies. Brownies, 3.5-point dogs at home, technically, plus 165 on the money line. 36 is the total. Joe Flacco will not be getting the start this week. It will be the third-round rookie Dylan Gabriel getting the start, with Shedeur Sanders not really giving a comment about it while giving a comment about it. That was one of the more fascinating things I've seen in my life.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I won't get into it. But
no, we're just gonna leave that. But Vikings, Browns, 56% of the bets, 59% of the money coming in on the Browns, plus the 4.5 here, or 3.5 depending on the book. So a lot of people with faith that Joe Flacco, that was the problem with the Cleveland Browns this entire time, Noah.
Yeah, Joe Flacco's just less controversial Aaron Rodgers at this point. He can still throw the ball.
Yeah.
It's not that great, but last week was interesting for Cleveland. They gave up a lot of points, first time they've done that, but I do think this Cleveland Browns defense is potentially a top 3 defense in the NFL.
I would agree.
And so I'm taking them to cover the spread in this one. The over-under really low, and I'm actually on the under on this one, even though it is so low, because I think this is going to be a real shit game. I woke up at 6:30 a.m. to watch the game last week. I don't know if I'll be doing that again for this one.
Yeah, I probably won't be either. I should be driving back from Vegas by then. But I'm going to go Vikings minus the 3.5. They've been over there already, and I think that helps a lot just in general. We've seen Jacksonville in the past lose their first game, stay over that next week, and then bounce back big. And I think the Vikings are going to be able to do that. So I'll take the Vikings minus the 3.5 here. I'm tempted to take the over. I know it doesn't make sense, but a lot of times when it doesn't make sense, that's usually what happens overseas. But I don't know, bud.
It's a super low over-under. So
super low.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, let's get to the next one, Noah. The Raiders, and the Colts going at it. Colts 7-point favorites after taking their first L of the season, minus 320 on the money line. 48 is the total. This feels like a nice bounce back spot for the Colts. It really does. And the 7 points is interesting to me. 65% of the bets, 43% of the money coming in on.
The Colts?
Yes, coming in on the Colts there, and then all the money and bets on them to win this money line. And I'm right there. I love this. I've been talking about them all the time. I love this Colts team. I love what Indiana Jones has been able to do under Shane Steichen with a good O-line, with a good running back, with some weapons at wide receiver. Again, they've only punted the ball a handful of times so far this season. Give me the Colts -7 against a Raiders team that is Max Crosby and Brock Bowers. And shout out Ashton Genty, though. He's standing up again in the backfield doing the Michael Myers stuff, and he had a better game. So again, that didn't make sense to me that they changed that, but it's the NFL, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he had a hell of a game. Rams just missed an extra point.
Yeah.
I don't know if they got tipped or anything, so we are tied. Still plenty of game in this one to go, but yeah, I mean the Colts are if legitimately they're an Adonai Mitchell boneheaded drop the ball before crossing the goal line away from being 4-0.
Yeah.
And the Raiders have looked good at times. They just haven't been able to piece together like consistently good. So 7 points, I'm okay with it. I'm okay laying the 7 points on the Colts in this one. I think they'll take care of business. They look like they're really doing things well.
They are. Everything seems to be clicking for them early in the season. Let's see if they can. I hope they can continue it through the end of the year. But next game on the slate, no, we've got Dem Boys going to play at MetLife. Going to play in MetLife. Jets 2.5-point dogs in this one at home, plus 115 on the money line. 47.5 is the total. 64% of the bet, 64% of the money coming in on.
Cowboys.
Them boys minus the 2 at 2.5 at some books, Noah. Two things are true. One, the Dallas Cowboys defense is explosive and incredible. And then the other thing, huh?
You mean explosive as in like they should blow the whole thing up because it sucks?
The offense?
You said the defense.
I'm sorry. That was going to lead to my second point where the Jets defense absolutely sucks ass. And I think that's a bad mix for the Jets. Not to mention the fact that Braylon Allen being out, I think is going to have a big effect. I know Breece Hall was getting they were kind of doing a split backfield. So I'll be interested to see how many more carries Breece Hall gets. But I don't know. I don't like this Jets team at all. This Jets team just feels the same. Justin Fields has the same look as when he was on the Bears, and so that's not a good thing. Give me Dumb Boys minus the 2.5. This feels pretty low. And give me George Pickens for a tutty.
Yeah, it looks like CeeDee Lamb going to be out again. Pickens had a huge game against the Packers Sunday night. And I expect Pickens is going to be doing just fine. Might be a little tougher going against Sauce Gardner, but I still think Pickens is going to get his share, and he's going to get his catches, get his targets. He's going to be just fine. And yeah, give me Dallas minus 2.5 in this one. I think this line's a little too low even. I think Jets move down to 0-5. Dallas gets another win here.
I really thought this was going to be like a 6.5, 6-point spread. I was shocked to see it this low, and then where the money was at.
Especially after Dallas, tying the Packers last week, right? I mean,
yeah, and I mean that makes sense why there's so much more public money coming in on them boys, but I don't know. That's funky to me. Anyway, moving it on, Noah, we've got the Houston Texans going up against the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson. Now it will be Cooper Rush getting the start for the Ravens. 2.5-point dogs at home, plus 110 on the money line. 40.5 is the total here. 77% of the bet, 60% of the money coming in on.
We've got to be Houston.
The Ravens.
Interesting.
Very. And then all the money and all of that, 78% of the bets, 84% of the money coming in on Ravens money line at plus 120, Noah.
Yeah, no Lamar with the way that this defense has been fighting the Cowboys for the worst defense in the NFL, I can't say that I have any inclination to be on Baltimore in this game. I know Houston's had their own struggles, right? We're sitting here with a couple 1-3 teams.
Couple, yeah.
Are the Ravens 1-3?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. One of these two teams is going to move to 1-4, and playoff hopes are going to be pretty slim at that point. But yeah, no Lamar. Like, when they had Tyler Huntley as backup, you could be like, okay, we can keep the same game. You can't run the same game plan with Cooper Rush.
No.
It's just, I don't think it's going to be pretty. I don't think Houston's going to win by a lot. I love under 40.5. I love that bet because
I love the over.
Houston's had a dysfunctional offense, and I think if you're the Ravens, you come into this with a one-dimensional game plan that you're just going to hand the fucking ball off to Derrick Henry, and maybe they win the game because of that, because they have not been it's funny, I know Dan Orlovsky came out and said the Ravens are last in the league in rush percentage on first and second down, yet they're second in the league in yards per carry on first and second down. So interesting that they just don't hand the ball off to Derrick Henry on first and second down. That might be just like the key to the Ravens figuring it out. And I think they're going to do that a lot more in this game because I don't think you want Cooper Rush going out there throwing balls on first and second. But we'll see what happens. I'm on Houston to cover the 2.5. I'm on the under.
All right, fair enough. Keeping it moving. Noah, let's go on down to New Orleans. How about that? We've got the Giants and the Saints in this one. Saints 1.5-point favorites at home, -129 on the money line. 42 is the total. 71% of the bet, 68% of the money on
the G-Men.
Yeah, man. On them G-Men plus the 1.5 and on that money line as well with a lot of money. And I got to say, I hate that I'm saying this. I'm with the public on this one. I like the Giants D-line. I think their secondary can use a little bit of help, but I kind of like the way they're working right now. I'm excited about Jackson Dart. I don't think he's going to win this game in the air. I think it's going to be on his feet, especially with Malik Neighbors being out. I understand how big of a hit that is for them, but give me the under in this one too, under 41.5. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And to answer, sorry, go ahead, finish.
Oh, I'm with you on everything other than the under. I'm staying off of the over-under on this one, but I got Giants money line on this one. I do think, like you said, Jackson Dart, he's going to get it done running the ball.
Yeah.
He's going to get it done running the ball. I love Jackson. I was going to say before you even started, I was going to say Jackson Dart, 60-plus rush yards in this one. Probably add another rushing touchdown for him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to play a perfect game, but he'll be fine. And this Giants D line is good enough that they can give Spencer Rattler some fits in this one. And you got to wonder at some point, are we going to see Tyler Show? I don't know if it happens in this game, but yeah, I mean, I'm here for it. I'm on the Giants to win this game outright.
I like it. And Road Dog, to answer your question, we will be covering baseball due to scheduling conflicts this week. We weren't able to do our normal postseason coverage, but we will pick up back on that next week. But yeah, love them Giants this week. Keeping it moving, Noah. We've got Miami Dolphins going up against the Panthers. Panthers 1-point dogs at home, 44.5 is the total. Let me find this. 53% of the bets, 52% of the money coming in on.
That's like almost an even split. I don't think it matters.
All right, it's coming in on the Panthers. Money line, it's 59% of the bets, 57% of the money coming in on the Dolphins. So pretty close splits on either side of that. Dolphins had a good game. They had one good game against a
bad Jets team.
Yeah, and they almost let the Jets come back too. I think they got a little boost from Tyreek Hill being injured and we got to win it for him now if they were at that point. Tyreek, to his comments after the game were interesting, but
yeah.
But I like this Panthers team, and I didn't see anything on the Dolphins defensive side that makes me think that, if Bryce Young doesn't come out and just play a solid game, he doesn't need to play a great game. He needs to play a solid game. that him and T-Mac can't go for a couple of yards and a tutty. I'm going to take the Panthers on the money line here. I mean, either which way you cut it, I'll take the 5 cents on the money line with the minus 104.
Yeah, I'm on Panthers money line on this one as well. It's not a super confident pick for me because what fucking Panthers team are we going to see? Are we going to see the team that beat Atlanta 30-0, or are we going to see the team we've seen pretty much the rest of the year last week at New England, where you're getting absolutely blown out, and Bryce Young seems like he gave up halfway through the second quarter.
He really did. Like that was, and that's bad. And I mean,
he just threw in the towel before halftime. That's crazy work to me. Like, you cannot be doing that. You can analyze on your own. Is that a Bryce Young problem? Is that a coaching problem? Is that, whatever else? But like, this team's obviously capable, right? Like, you go and you beat Atlanta by 30 points, 30-0. Your defense holds them to 0 points.
Yeah.
Like this team's capable, but it just feels like the attitude is off with Bryce Young specifically, but also the whole team. Like, they get down and they kind of are just like, they throw in the towel. They're like, all right, on to next week. And we've seen that like twice already from them this year. And in 4 games, that's not a good sign.
No, not a good sign at all.
So I hope for their sake they get up earlier, they're in the game, and it's competitive, because I think they'll win that. But the second they get down by 2 scores, it feels like they just are like, all right, on to next week.
Yep, I'm with you there. So hopefully it doesn't get to that, but we'll see. Last game in the early slate. No, we've got the Broncos and the Eagles. Eagles 3.5-point favorites here, minus 205 on the money line. 43.5 is the total. 55% of the bets, 35% of the money coming in on
Philly.
Yep, coming in on Philly there, but all the money, all the bets coming in on them money line here. I forgot who it was who said this, but
I don't hate that, though. I mean, you're getting a minus 205 on the money line. Like, why risk the 3.5 points there?
Yeah, exactly. Why risk the hook there? And I forgot who said it earlier this week, but they had a great point. This Eagles team is boring to watch. Like, this is such a boring team to watch. But like we talked about on Tuesday, Nick Sirianni is running a hell of a ship here in Philadelphia, and why do anything different? Yeah, AJ Brown's going to get pissed off, and Devontae Smith, are going to get pissed off. They're diva wide receivers. The fuck else do you want from them? It's their job to get pissed off when they don't get the football in a win. But I don't care. Give me them Eagles minus the 3.5. I am going to risk it. I might buy it down to the 2.5, but I like the Eagles to win this game.
Yeah, I like them to win, and I also like them to cover the spread. Again, probably going to be a boring cover with this one, but I've got no reason to believe that they won't cover 3.5 at home against Denver, who has looked all right. I mean, they looked really good on Monday night, but they were also playing the beat-down, broken Bengals, and so Philly wins this game. They cover the spread just fine. It's not a problem. I'm surprised that this is at 3.5. If I'm being completely honest, I'm shocked that this isn't at more of a 6.5 to 8.5 type of number.
I get it. Next game on the slate. Let's get into the afternoon one here, Noah. Starting with Bucks and the Seahawks. Seahawks 3.5-point favorites in this one, minus 190 on the money line. 44.5 is the total. 28% of the bets, 37% of the money coming in on
Seattle.
Yeah, coming in on Seattle. Not a lot of faith of the 12s. They have not had the best home record as of late, but there is 64% of the bets, 58% of the money coming in on the money line. So still some big money coming in on the money line for the Bucks. And I don't know how you look at this Buck team and, you're not impressed. This is a good team overall. We've talked about it. Baker Mayfield has found his home and is comfortable. Yes, there's injuries, but this is a team that very much has that next man up mentality and is able to execute with that as well. I'm gonna go with the Bucks here. I'm gonna take the points with the 3.5. I might sprinkle that money line a little bit. I also like the over in this game of 44.5. I think this is gonna be a very high scoring game. Don't hate the Bucks defense. Don't love the Bucks defense, and same thing with Seattle. And as long as Sam Darnold isn't seeing ghosts, that Seattle offense looks like a solid team. So I'll take the 3.5 and the over with the Bucks.
Yeah, I'll echo you on the over under there. I'm on Tampa Bay money line through and through on this one. Seattle's good. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong. Sam Darnold's been playing decent. Yeah, I just think Tampa Bay is going to be totally fine. Now, they might be without Bucky Irving, but let's not forget that Rachaad White's back there, who until about the halfway point of last season was running back number one for the Bucs, and is not really like taken a step back. He's just been outshined by Bucky Irving.
Exactly.
So Rachaad White can still totally produce in this offense. I know Mike Evans is out, Chris Godwin's still out, but Emeka Ibuka has just stepped right in and been totally fine. Give me Tampa Bay. Give me the over.
I like it, Noah. I like it. I hate this next game. I want to be honest with you. Titans, Cardinals. Cardinals 7.5-point favorites at home, minus 440 on the money line is the total. 42 is the total, and 42 is a funny number, Noah, because that's how much it costs to sit in the lower bowl for this game.
Which is crazy because that's like times that by about 9, and you've got what the Packers Cardinals tickets are looking like.
Yep. Where is the money coming in on this one? 64% of the bets, 56% of the money coming in on the Cardinals. Line has moved up from 5.5 to 7.5, which I find fascinating because top two running backs are out, with Trey Benson being put on IR this week for a surgery. That means DeMercado is going to be our backup running back. But no, it may not matter because we just don't like running the ball when we should. I know Cam Ward came out and said, quote unquote, we ass. If we're going to keep it a buck, we ass. And I understand it. And they are. I'm not trying to defend them. But if there is one thing the Arizona Cardinals love to do, it's be a slump buster. We've been a slump buster for the Panthers in the past when they've had terrible teams. And I will never forget Cam Newton getting called off the couch to come start for Carolina, and he ran in for 2 touchdowns, and I about cried.
He didn't really get called off the couch. He was the number 1 overall pick, and then
no. This was when he.
You're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when he wasn't playing, and then they're like, "Oh, let's bring Cam Newton back for a week," and they brought him back for 1 fucking week to play the Cardinals. That's the game I'm talking about when he said, "I'm back," and then he wasn't back the rest of the season.
Yeah. He had 1 good game.
Yeah, against the Cardinals. And I don't know. Everything's telling me to take the Cardinals, but I also feel like this might be Cam Ward's coming out party.
What's your pick?
I'm going to buy it down, take the Cardinals minus the 6.5, and be sad.
Well, AJ, I got news for you. I'm 4-0 picking ATS on or against the Cardinals.
You are.
So Cardinals games, I'm 4-0 ATS this year. For whatever reason, I had an impeccable record last year, and I think the year before that. And
you're good at picking Cardinals games.
I don't know what it is about the Cardinals, but I've got a better grasp on them than any other team for the last 2.5 years. They're going to cover the 7.5. They're going to cover the 7.5. So. It's going to be just fine. Kyler Murray's going to have a really nice game. Tennessee, there's some promise there with the Titans, but at the end of the day, this is a game where Kyler Murray's going to go out have a hell of a game. I wouldn't be surprised if McBride has a really good game, if Marvin Harrison Jr. gets very involved in this game. Just shut people up for at least 1 week until he starts doing some stupid ass shit next week. But I'll even take the hook on the 7.5. It's fine. I think the Cardinals win this by more than a touchdown, and get to 3-2, stay within range within the division.
All right, let's hope so. Keeping it moving. No, we got the Commanders and the Chargers. Chargers 3-point favorites in this one at home, minus 155 on the money line. 47 is the total. 55% of the bets, 54% of the money coming in on.
Gotta be the Chargers.
On the Commanders with the news that
is Jaden Daniels playing?
Jaden Daniels is playing, but nobody else is. Well, at least no one else has practiced so far this week. Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuels. Not a lot of action there. It could be rest. It could be other stuff. We'll have to wait and see on that. But I'm on the Chargers minus the 3, Noah. I'm on the Chargers. I love how they've been playing. I love what they've been doing. I think the Commanders are good. I do think that defense has taken a step back, and I think that offense is going to be playing with their left hand tied behind their back if they have too many injuries coming Sunday. And so I'm going to bet on the injuries. Give me the Chargers minus the 3.
Yeah, I'm also on that. Some books have this at 2.5.
Like that more.
Shop your line. I love the 2.5 line. Jaden Daniels being back is going to be big with that running back room. I mean, you got Bill, who's supposedly the number 1 back, but it's still kind of a 3-way split there, and nobody's really emerging or proving themselves as a guy who should be running back 1 in this offense. Washington, I mean, like I said, they were one of my 2 teams that I said coming into the season, playoff teams from last year that I don't expect to make the playoffs this year, and Washington was one of them, and we are seeing some sophomore slump. I know injuries have been a factor in that, but the Chargers are going to bounce the fuck back from last week. They lost to the Giants. It was not pretty. I think Omarion Hampton is going to run all the way through this Washington defense. He's going to have his 3rd big game in a row. And Quentin Johnston figured out how to catch a ball. And yeah, they did lose to the Giants last week. But the great thing is they got torn up by Jackson Dart running the ball, which I think here's my theory. The Chargers were game planning for Russell Wilson and then got Jackson Dart and then were a little bit thrown off on how to handle that.
Yeah.
I think they'll be ready for this one. And Jaden Daniels, I don't know if he's going to be at full speed coming off of that injury. And so I think Chargers will win this one just fine. 2.5, 3 points. I think is too low of a spread for this. Give me the Chargers.
Love it. Love it. Not going to spend much time on this next game. No, I think we both know how this is going to end. Lions, 10-point favorites on the road to Cincinnati. 49.5 is the total. Give me the Lions minus the 10. And they may cover that total by themselves, Noah.
Yeah, I'm actually on the under on this one.
Okay. I don't hate it.
Under 49.5. And the reason why is because Cincinnati just looks like they just look sad. That's the word that I'm using to describe Cincinnati. They're sad. Zach Taylor should be out either at the end of the season or before the season ends, because it's amazing how much Joe Burrow has held this locker room together. I know we constantly talk about the mismanagement issues with like players and ownership, players in front office. T. Higgins is pissed off. Jamar Chase is pissed off. Joe Burrow's not in there. And so Chase Brown is underperforming. It's bad. This defense is ass. This defense is ass. And so the way Detroit's offense has been playing the last 3 weeks, yeah, I know you said they may cover the over-under themselves. I think it's high enough that I don't think Detroit's putting up a 50 burger here. But I don't know that Cincinnati's putting up very many points at all in this game. I could totally see like a 40-6 type of game, maybe something like that. So I am going under 49.5, but I can't imagine Detroit's going to have too much trouble covering 10 points.
No, neither can I. No, let's move to Sunday Night Football. Going to be taking place in Buffalo, New York. Buffalo Bills, New England Patriots. Bills, 8-point favorites, minus 420. On the money line, 48.5 is the total. 55% of the bets, 51% of the money coming in on. Doesn't matter, but
it's almost dead split. I don't know.
I know, which blows my mind. That
New England just literally dicked on Carolina for 60 minutes last week. So
yeah, but who hasn't?
Atlanta. Again, we talked about Carolina already, and like, what the fuck Panthers team are we getting? But no, Mike Vrabel coaching this New England Patriots team, I think this team is fine. I think
Yeah, they're fine.
they're much improved over last year with Vrabel. Gerard Mayo. I hate that I had that. I hate that I called it correct too when he got hired.
Yeah.
With how little time, like that's the thing. Like usually I love being right, but this is one that I hated being right about. Is I'm like, oh, they're just hiring him
To fire him.
Yeah, basically as a diversity hire to get the compensation pick, and then like they didn't want Gerard Mayo.
They wanted Rabes.
Well, you don't go and hire a guy on like very little time frame spent on that, who's got no head coaching experience at any level, with intentions that it's going to work out and you're going to keep him. I think they didn't like anybody that was available in that coaching cycle, and so they were like, oh, sure, we'll just hire Gerard Mayo so we can fire him after a year and it'll be all fine. And I'm pretty sure that's what Bob Kraft and the Patriots did. They got the guy that they want now in Vrabel.
Yeah.
He really embodies kind of that New England Patriots mindset, that play style, and I think they're going to put up a fight here. It is in Buffalo. I hate the line at 8.5, depending on where you're looking at. Like, I hate it. Like, you could not have put this line in a worse place for me, especially after Buffalo won but did not cover last week as a 15.5 point.
Yeah.
Favorite. Which, you know what? Parlay lost anyways, but I did buy that down to like 9.5, and so
what are you taking here, Noah?
It's the Saints, but you know the Saints are ass, and the Patriots actually have some fight to them. I'm gonna go on the Patriots to cover, Buffalo to win. Not touching the over under. I don't know what type of game we're going to be getting here, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm just going to take the conservative approach, take the Patriots to cover the more than a touchdown spread, and I don't think Buffalo's losing this one. They're going to move to 5-0.
Yeah, I'm on Buffalo minus the 8. I think they absolutely blow the Patriots out. I mean, really blow them out. Fun one here for Monday Night Football. Noah, Jacksonville Jaguars, Kansas City Chiefs in Jacksonville. Jaguars 3.5 point dogs at home, plus 158 on the money line. 46.5 is the total here, Noah. We've got, gosh darn it, where is it? Where is it? I just had it. Son of a bitch. Or did they take it down? Am I blind?
I don't know what you're looking for.
There we go. 57% of the bet, 66% of the money coming in on the Chiefs, minus the 3.5 at some books, like the one we're looking at currently. All of the money, all the bets coming in on them money line. This is gonna be a big game for Jacksonville. This is a big game for Jacksonville. They go ahead and they beat the Chiefs here. That is some serious momentum and some serious movement. But after how the Chiefs performed last year, are the Chiefs back? You know, did getting Xavier Worthy help reopen that offense up a little bit so they can actually throw the ball downfield and get some action going? Where are you on this one, Noah?
God, this is tough. Yeah, because Mahomes for the first time this year last week looked like MVP Mahomes, but it was against Baltimore, who, as we've talked about, is fighting Dallas for the honor of worst defense in the league. So I don't know how much weight to put behind that. Jacksonville's looked good. They had a nice win over San Francisco. They've got an opportunity in this one, assuming the Colts beat the Raiders. They're going to need this win to keep pace with the Colts at the top of the AFC South. And holy fuck. I don't, this is maybe the toughest game. I know it's the last one, but it's maybe the toughest game.
I would agree.
That 3.5 has thrown me off a lot.
It's a shitty line.
I'm going to ride with Jacksonville on the 3.5 to keep this to a field goal game or less. I mean, this is one of those where I could see it being a close game in either way. I could see either team blowing the other team out. I really don't know what to expect from this. I'm staying off of the over under because of that. And I'm going to go ahead and just take the 3.5 points that's gifted to me for Jacksonville at home. Do I feel great about it? No. Because, again, like I said, I could see either team blowing the other one out. I could see this being a really close game in either direction. But to me, those 4 different outcomes, which are all 4 outcomes that could happen, barring a tie, fuck ties, by the way, yeah, I'm going to take the outcome that gives me the win in 3 out of the 4 of those scenarios, and that's Jacksonville plus 3.5. I don't feel great about it. It's a gun to my head. Had to pick something. We'll take Jacksonville to cover it home.
So for what it is worth, the Chiefs played the Bucs last season, and they beat the Bucs 30-24. Why that's relevant? Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator for the Bucs last year, now stepping in as head coach, has played the Chiefs before, performed well against the Chiefs, calling plays offensively against Spags. And so, maybe that I don't know. It's a tough one. I reserve the right to flip-flop Monday night, but I'm on Jags plus the 3.5 and thinking about sprinkling that money line with what they've been doing recently. I want to look at a couple more things and see injury reports and stuff before I make final decision, but I'm leaning on Jacksonville here plus the 3.5.
Does your mind change if this drops a point to 2.5?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the tricky part. That is.
Part. And I could say, I'll buy it down to the 2.5, but where the money and everything's at,
it might do that itself. It might do that itself.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why I kind of want to wait till Monday, Sunday night to see where that line goes.
Could go to 4.5 as well. But if you're already buying points, I think you just sit and wait on this one until Monday afternoon and see how that line moves. Because if it goes to 2.5.
But if it goes to 2.5, then you're dealing with serious reverse line movement. Line opened up at 4. Yeah. Moving it all the way down to 2.5 with money coming in on the Chiefs and on the Chiefs. I think you got to take Jacksonville at that point.
It depends on how much you trust or distrust the public, I suppose. But I think it's one of those where whatever side of this you're on, I think you're actually at a benefit to just sit and wait on this.
It's a good live betting game. Great live bet game. Feel the flow of the game a little bit.
Or if whatever side you're on, I think it's beneficial for both sides of it to just sit and wait and see what this line does.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Noah, that is the entire NFL slate, our college slate. You got anything else in the football world before we call it a night?
I do not. Regretfully left Iowa State and Cincinnati off of our college.
I know you did. I was shocked on that one.
Yeah, won't talk at all about that game, but Iowa State money line. It's the easy fucking pick. I don't know how they're underdogs, but
yeah, it's funny. But anyway, I will have my picks for Power Slap 15 coming out either later tonight or tomorrow morning. So keep an eye out for that, along with my Sunday sit and starts for fantasy football. You're not going to want to miss that. And then Noah and I will be live next Tuesday, breaking everything down in the football world and MLB postseason, baby. It's going to be a great weekend. And with all that being said, hey, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to everyone here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help us out a lot more than you know. But again, with all that, I'm the Brofict one, AJ. That's the Money Train, Noah. We'll see you next time on.
I was just going to say, yeah, Road Dog, I will be at that. I assume you're talking about the Packers-Cardinals game. I will be at that one, just to answer that question.
Thank you for interrupting the closing for that, Noah. Have a great night. I'm the Brofict one. That's the Money Train. We'll see you guys next time on Degenerate Takes. Yeah.